Ladies and gentlemen, the American Jury and Bulldog Nation, I'm coming to you live with my Oldenburg softball jersey. I wore in my 20s and it still fits. Ha ha ha. We got lots of news. Lots. So let's get covering it. The FBI press conference this morning, Donald Trump, flanked by Pete Hegseth, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel. The FBI is going to help out Washington, D.C. They're going to send 120 agents into the field to help prevent the crime. You know, it is our capital. Lots of people work there, and a lot of tourists come there. And it's only right that we have a safe capital. And remember, D.C. itself, the District of Columbia, is a very woke, liberal, crime-ridden district of Columbia. Barack Obama and George H.W. Bush, you can't make this up. This is so good. Portraits have been moved from prominent positions to the top of a grand staircase for less visibility. Yes! Don't you love it? Who wants to look at those traitors anyway? All right, new report out that they went through lengthy efforts, the Biden administration, to debank Trump. In other words, to get banks not to bank with Trump. That's insane to go to that depths. J.P. Morgan and Bank of America were apparently involved. Jamie Dimon got some explaining to do to the president. All right, J.D. Vance says California receives a disproportionate number of House seats due to counting illegal aliens. Let's correct that. Prager University is going to replace PBS, apparently. I don't know how that's going to work, but Prager is more conservative. Border wall materials. Remember, Joe Biden paid the contractors who were supposed to fix the wall to not do the work and then auctioned off the wall materials. Well, apparently that guy still has them. And apparently going to give them back, sell them back to the Washington. That guy's making a fortune on the wall, right? Clark Construction, who does construction work in the Maryland, Virginia area, is going to receive the contract along with McCreary Architects for their $200 million ballroom added to the White House. J.D. Vance says there will be indictments on the Russian Gate hoax. Let's hope that includes Obama, Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Hillary, on and on and on. In Montana, they arrested Michael Paul Brown, 45, Army veteran of Iraq, a National Guard. He is the guy who shot the people at the Owl Bar on August 1st. Mark Levin and Marjorie Taylor Greene's going at it. I choose Mark Levin. Green voiced opposition to American support for Israel in conflict with Hamas, referring to the situation in Gaza as genocide. In response, he called her an absolute lunatic with an IQ of a snail. He is correct. Jeff Duncan, the former Georgia lieutenant governor, switched parties to Democrat. Trump says good riddance. He's a total loser. The Department of Justice is focusing in on Pennsylvania's election interference. Hope they find something. Elon Musk says his $16.5 billion deal with Samsung for the order of AI accelerator chips is going to change the ball game. Zohan Mandami, the mayor of New York, lives in subsidized housing, $2,300 rent. A rent-controlled apartment despite being wealthy. Incredible. Ed Martin has been chosen by Pam Bondi, a special prosecutor, to investigate mortgage fraud against Senator Adam Schiff and New York Attorney General Letitia James. The Row, New York City's migrant hotel contracts to expire in April. $5 million a month due to decline in migrant arrival. Do you believe they let hotels be taken over? It's insane. U.S. Coast Guard shipbuilding programs have been bolstered under the big, beautiful bill. Go Coast Guard. John Deere announced they're going to invest $20 billion in the United States. Love it. Beto O'Rourke has been enjoined from funding the Texas Democrats leaving the state. Judge Boasberg's decision against Trump on illegal immigrants reversed. Billy Long is out of the IRS commissioner. He didn't last very long. Rumor is it that it was a conflict that he was having with Department of Homeland Security. We don't really know. He's gone. Scott Bessent will take over in the interim. Military. Donald Trump has told the military, and Pete Hegseth, use the military against the drug cartels. Yes, it's about time. I've been talking about this forever. They're finally going to get him. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Fed rates will be cut by the year's end. You must know something. Sanctuary Sheriff Stephen Tompkins was indicted for, he's in Massachusetts, $50,000 extortion for cannabis deals. Unbelievable. James Carville has apologized and taken down a post relating to Melania Trump for false claims against her relative to Epstein. A pro-lifer was attacked. 73-year-old suffers permanent eye injury, Planned Parenthood clinic. Patrick Bryce, 28-year-old, gets home detention and 3 years probation. Watch the video. A 28-year-old beating the hell out of a 73-year-old, and he gets home detention. Unbelievable. Rich punk Frazier Bohm, he's the one that ran over 4 sorority girls out in California, has hired Karen Reed's lawyer, Alan Jackson, not the musician. Food stamps, no junk. 6 more states, West Virginia, Florida, Colorado, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas have banned soda, candy, high-sugar junk foods, ineligibility to improve health outcome effects go into effect 2026. Katie Porter's the Democrat. Steve Hilton is the Republican. Those are the 2 leaders in the California governor's race. Tom Cotton, United States Senator from Missouri, says the DOD needs to ban all foreigners from Pentagon access. I agree. Patriot missiles are surging due to the global conflict. They can't make enough of them. We got to keep making them. Colorado fires. This was wild. The Lee fire, one of the largest in the state's history. Rifle Correctional Center evacuated as precaution, 70 miles away with 179 inmates. 6% contained, whatever that happens. The fire has covered 167 square miles. And I got one add-on. Illinois is going to do mandatory mental health screening for all of its public students. How sick is that? Trump, Putin in Alaska. Friday, August 15th, he's going to go to Alaska. Everybody's trying to throw oil in it, mess it up, include Zelensky. Trump says he wants to meet Putin one-on-one. Alaska, which we bought from them back in the late 1960s. It was called Seward's Folly. It wasn't a folly. Russia, if they don't come around and do what they're supposed to do, we're going to hit them with 500% tariffs. Trump had a great Friday. He had a meeting with Armenia and Azerbaijan where he had a peace deal made with them. These people have been fighting forever, and he made peace. Russia, wild story. Chairlift. Cables were installed in 1968. 8 people injured falling on trees and ground into a lake. 13 others rescued from the collapsed chairs. 1 person's serious spinal cord injury. No deaths. I hate those things. Turning to pop culture, Cracker Barrel's new look. All the people that go to Cracker Barrel don't like it, so they better hope the people that will go to Cracker Barrel do like it. Allie Lauder says Landman is finished. Season 2 has now been produced. Can't wait to watch it. Trump Burger. This is hysterical. If you're an illegal alien and want to stay in the United States, seems like a nice idea, right, to do a front. Trump Burger? Nope. He's an illegal alien and he's being deported. David Justice spoke out about his relationship with Halle Berry. I knew David Justice. I was a senior when he was a freshman in Latin school. Same thing at Thomas More. He's a good guy. He said it didn't work out with Halle Berry because she didn't cook and didn't clean. He wanted a regular housewife. I stand with you, David Justice. New Mexico ranch, wild, 500,000 acres, as big as Rhode Island, sold for $115 million by the Horton family. Jim Lovell, who was a great famous astronaut, portrayed by Tom Hanks in that movie Apollo 13, died. Rest in peace, he's 97. And Jimmy Fallon hosted last week Greg Gutfeld on the Late Night Show. That's one way to get your viewers up, right, Jimmy Fallon? Sports Without Boundaries. NASCAR, Connie Zilich jumps up on his car in victory lane and falls and breaks his collarbone. Cam Little for the Jags hit a 70-yard preseason field goal. Wow. Jen Payroll is the first female Major League umpire, premiered this week. She debuted during the Miami Marlins versus the Atlanta Braves. Wow. Shedeur Sanders, 2 touchdowns, played great in the preseason opener for the Cleveland Browns. Everybody's excited. Earnhardt battle. Teresa Earnhardt wanted to rezone and request a $30 billion data center on the land, scheduled to vote on September 15th. Kerry Dale Jr. and others oppose it. Micah Parsons showed up with the Dallas Cowboys in uniform. And Maurice Norris in the Lions preseason game was suspended when he suffered a neck injury. Told you we had a lot of news. Last but not least, your Shakespeare insult today is, do not be a feeble molt horse pissel. Feeble molt horse pissel. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Have a great day.